of the plays that we did today are just amazing. And what I love today too was Boeing. I've always said over and over and over, I cannot stress it enough. When Boeing hits 370, the chat room goes crazy. I mean, they go nuts because it is a buying opportunity. Um, and you know, I had probably a dozen traders yell out Boeing 370. And I started taking a position at $369.27. I got in a little bit early. I gave it room. I told the chat room I had room to 365 because I know these are the target areas that the investors will go in there and just eat it up. I'm talking chomp, 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 chomp. And it hit 360, I think 366 somewhere around there. So I added around 367. I think 367.47 was my entry, and I did that live. You can hear the click. I do that. And I filled them both, and I had about a 368.35 average. And then the Boeing news hit. And boy, did it hit. I can't stress it enough. I mean, Boeing just boomed. And at that time, let me tell you something. Dark Side was on the mic. I mean, him and Janny were running the show. And all I did was I couldn't stop screaming. But I wasn't screaming. I was, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Because let me tell you something. When you have 250 shares, 200 shares, 300 shares, and you get a 6-point pop, your life changes at that moment. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you're just, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Because as a day trader, you almost want to think, gosh, wish I had 500 shares, 600 shares, 1,000 shares. But the reality is you trade what you can afford. So if you can afford 250, 200 shares, you start nibbling at 100, kind of average in 100, go 50 more, and then boom. And all we were looking for on Boeing was just to pop to 370. I mean, I just wanted to make my money back plus a point and a half. And the timing could not have been perfect. And the great Janny, I mean, he nailed it long. I think he took 367.20 or something like that off the bottom. And he just took it. And then all of a sudden, it was gone. And at that moment, I think I got out around 374.35 or somewhere there. And I got you have no idea. I was so happy. I really was. I was so happy. And then I told traders, hey, this stock has room. You could scalp it, take it to 380. And the stock just kept going. And then Darkside was letting us know what was going on his alerts. And then the stock curled around, and then the stock ran, and he walked it up to 385. And he said, okay, traders, I think that's enough. I was telling traders to kind of get rid of the 380 and dump it because I didn't want them to get too overly done. And a lot of traders and chat rooms will not trade Boeing. And imagine how great this room is. We were trading Boeing. It wasn't even really on our list because we felt it would drag. Today, I felt personally it would probably drag most of the day. But I'm going to tell you something. When it pulls to 370 and under, the chat room goes crazy. Why? Look at the last 10 days, even the last 5. Look at the base. Now, you have to ask yourself, why is not your chat room playing this? What is wrong with them? Why? Because they want to play Nevada, MU, Facebook, Apple, Nevada, Apple, Facebook. It is just ridiculous. They don't want to go outside the box. You know why? Because they don't understand. And I can't keep stressing enough. How are you going to have the freedom to be a trader if your trader that trade supposed to be your mentor doesn't want to trade these stocks? You know why? Because they don't understand them. They're scared of them. They're scared. You should just ask your person, why didn't you trade Boeing today in the room? Why didn't you give us the calls? Why didn't you tell us to buy at 370? What are you going to do, stutter? Okay. Boeing has been an incredible trading vehicle every day for us in this room, last 5 days. And every day, it's just, you don't understand. 100 shares, 10 points, $1,000. Excuse me? Why aren't you trading Boeing? Why can't you buy calls? Why can't you buy puts? Every time it dips to 370, why aren't you buying 380 calls? Because the room you're in is limiting your ability to trade the stock, because they personally don't have enough experience to be able to make the call out to trade the stock. And that's the honest to God truth. So instead of saying and being open and truthful and saying, I really don't know how to trade that stock, and so therefore I cannot provide great guidance, they'd rather make excuses and say, why do you need that when we have NVIDIA? Or why do you need that if we can make 80 cents on Apple on a 1-point pull? Or Facebook's going to give us 65 cents today. Or MU is going to give us 30 cents. Or this stock's going to give us 10 cents on a $2 on a $1 pump. I mean, why? I mean, why? So let's just be a lesson to you. Our chat room went after this aggressive at 370. We added all the way down to 365. We were okay with it. We were going to carry an average because we know this stock has a nice base at 370. Look at 370 across the line. Every time it gets there, it pops back. So let that be a lesson to all of you out there that are listening to this webinar, whether you're in our room or not. Let's face the facts. Last 5 days, this room is tore it up. And I mean tore it up. Now, I'm going to give you the Boeing, right? But then I'm going to turn around. I'm going to flip it now. Now I'm going to give you, I gave you a $380 stock. Now I'm going to give you a little $6 stock. Okay? So, and it's called Raka. Meow. I'm sorry, what? Meow. Okay, this is our fun trade of the day. Okay? This was just, I mean, I'm going to read you the headline. And don't laugh. Don't laugh. Just listen to the headline. There are certain headlines. Oh, that's right. Your room doesn't do headlines. They only do charts. So they have no idea why the stock's even up. And because they don't know why it's up, they don't want to trade it because they're very naive and very limited. Yeah. A lot of these rooms right now that you're in are very limited. They don't understand because they don't trade news. Let me tell you something. I'd rather be next to a guy that understands the news and how to interpret it to be either a long or a short. That's the guy I want to be around. That's the lady I want to be around. If you can put money in my pocket, if I can't afford Boeing, but you can show me RKDA, I'm going to love your room because then I can have a choice. All right? And I have a lot of small cap people that come in here all the time that want a great short. So RKDA had the news. You want to see the news? You want to see it? Don't laugh at it now. Don't laugh at it. Okay? RKDA. Don't laugh at it. All right? So the FDA approved safflower oil in cat food. Sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry. Meow. Sorry. I'm sorry. Okay? I'm sorry. But if this can't make you laugh on a headline, I don't know what will. This was probably the funniest headline I've ever seen in a long time. Okay? So for us, it was just a simple short. That's all I put down. I laughed at it. You can see right here, RKDA. Oh my God, really? Cat food? Go short, 9.5, and you'll get at least 50 cents to $1 to the downside. This should be an all-day fade. You want to see it? You want to see it? You want to see it? All right, here's your short, 9.5. Penny pop at the open, and all-day fade. And fill the gap. There it is. Let's do another one. Oh, you can't afford Redca? Because your account can't afford a $7 stock? You know what I'm going to do? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to make you $1,000 on a cheaper stock. You want to see this one? It's called ACHV. Okay? Now this stock, he was even more funnier. Okay? Was even more stupider. Can I show you something? I'm going to teach you something. All right? You ever heard the word rehash? What rehash is? Uh-huh. when somebody says something over and over and over, the rehashing the past. So if you go to this morning, all right, and nice work, Raphael. Good job, boss. Well done, ACB. This morning, as we woke up, ACHV gave the same PR pretty much that they gave us last year regarding their data updates on their drugs and so forth. It's basically their PR was a rehash of what they just gave us in February on their financial results and their earnings and the development stage of their. See how it says this is the key word right here. Syndoclin development continues to advance rapidly. You see that? That word right there, continues, is basically saying absolutely fucking nothing. And that's why the stock moved today. Because of that one word. And so all we could do was literally laugh at it. All right? All you could do is laugh. Continues. You had decent earnings, but then you're giving us an update on your drug that continues to show us something that you've already showed us back in February. So what is that? That means it's a short. And so what we do as a trader in here, again, we look at all the bag holders that have been holding the stock. We look at the crazy news. And you know what's cool? Raphael, after hours, nailed us on the long side after hours. He was still in the chat room and called it out. And then the stock ran this morning in pre-market was really ridiculous. And at basically 3 o'clock in the morning. And all I could just tell everyone was just short the stock. Just short the stock and gap fill it back down to 3 and under. And if you can look at the word here, ACHV, it's gapping up 3. In my opinion, this is nothing more than a rehash crap that will fade all day long. If it opens towards 5, watch the topping and fade it all day long. And that's your trade. That is your trade. So I gave you a couple small cap stocks right there, right? One was $2, one was $6. Now, let's just say you came in and you go, but I can't short those. My platform won't let me. I'm limited. I can't do that. I don't know how to short. Don't you have something else for me today? You know what? We do. We do. You want to see that stock? It's called SLNO. That's right. It's called SLNO. Given to us today by an incredible trader, moderator in the room, by the name of B Trades. And I'm sure you hear about him all the time. I mean, he's a phenom. I mean, he's awesome. So today, he got up, he'll watch that curl with volume, called it out at 250 like he normally does in the room, and just walked it up to $5 a share. He gave us, again, when I mean walk up, I mean when you come into our room, his chat logs, just basically he tells you, take some here, it's consolidating, take some here, it's consolidating, take some here, my target is this. The man is incredible. Okay? He gives everyone an opportunity to make money. And if you take 500 shares, you make $1,000 on 2 points. He delivered 100% return on your money. Why are you not in this room? Why are you not in this room? Why are you trading Apple for 80 cents? Why the fuck are you trading MU and Twitter for 20 more cents? Because why? Because your moderator tells you it's simple, it's simple, it's simple, it's simple, it's simple, it's simple. Really? Isn't this considered simple? Isn't this simple? Imagine taking 1,000 shares or $1,000 or 1,000 shares or 2,000 buying power, which you're using on your call and option buying in the other rooms to get 80 cents to make what? 50 bucks? 100 bucks? Or you come in here and use that same $2,000 on 1,000 shares, get in with B Trades, who's just, forget it. He's off the hook. And he gives you this, and you could have made $1,500. But because your room doesn't understand these trades, they tell you not to trade them. This is limiting your ability to make money in day trading. And you have to put a stop to it this weekend. You got to say enough's enough. You know, I didn't even see this trade. I'm being real. I got my mind on Boeing, Ulta, Tesla, Docu, RKDA. I got my mind on ACHV, shorting. I think I'm going to deliver, but every day, Raphael and B Trades walk in, and I swear, between the two of them, that's all they do. They find the chat room, these small cap runners, and you almost got one almost every day running on just whatever news. And I can't thank them enough for bringing this to our attention. Even when I finally pull it on screen and I'm chasing, the room heard me chasing is up here. And I got around right here and I popped it and I got out. Even though he was saying it has room to 5, I'll take my money. If I can make 150, 200 bucks, I'll take that money. You know what I mean? So this was a great trade. So again, if you can't short the stock, I'm going to find you another stock to go long because there are always plays like this. Okay. Now, I want you to see some more talent. You want to see more talent? I want you to look at this HTHT trade. Okay. Now we all know Fire Trader 05 is Brad is just off the hook. This room, aside including myself, I can't tell you enough. Brad is the next legend. He swear to God he is. He's just getting started. And every day he walks in here, and I swear, when he speaks, just drop what you're doing. You're almost guaranteed a trade. Even if you didn't touch any of my pre-market stuff, even if 50 points can sweat by you could just sit and wait for Fire Trader to speak. And who is he? I mean, if you don't know who he is, then how's that working for you? Okay, but this man right here is off the hook. He's on Instagram. He's in our room. He's on Twitter. He does not give the calls out there. He gives the calls in the room. Let me tell you something. Awesomecalls Trading is going to build something huge for this man because he is just such an amazing trader. And he's probably about 95% accurate. Like I'm about 85 to 90% accurate in my notes. He's about 95% accurate in his calls. And we all want to be 100, but sometimes we're off. We get in too early, and then we'll go back in there and attack it. Okay? This was his call. Look at the traders that respect him. You know, and every morning he gives his own pre-market list of what he likes. Look, just click it, and he'll tell you what he's looking at on his own watch list. Look at that. He'll give you Pivotal, Docu, HTHT, and Bud. So these are what he was looking at. You see that? When you're dealing with a professional day trader, this is what they do. They get up, they do their homework, and this is the 1% that other Twitter guy was telling me. This is like a 1%. But you see, this is what we teach in the room. To find your own setups, to learn what to look for. He goes further in the float, how much is short, and so forth. Any upgrades. This is a lot of work. You know, just like when I get up and I do this, and I put 12 of these ideas. All right? It's the same thing. This is what we do. We find the trades that are going to pay our bills. And Fire did it again today. So what happened was on HTHT, all right, here's the idea. Okay. I think the stock will shoot out of the gate to about $40 level. Then it will come down 2 to 3 points. I would love to see profit taking at 37.50 and under and go long. And go long. So my ideal was 37.50. Okay? And then go long. I want you to see the setup. You ready? Okay. HTHT. Here's the opening bell. Ding, 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 ding. And it shoots all the way up to what? 39.58. It didn't quite hit the 40 level and then pulled down. I wanted 37.50. Okay? It pulled, and I want you to see the accuracy of the call. It pulled, but it stopped at 38-ish. Okay. He did not take a position right there. He waited. He wanted to see if the chart was going to set up again for him. So what he did is he waited. And this was what makes him such a terrific trader. Look how he set it up for the room. So he waited. It came down again and it held. You see how it held? And then it popped. He went long right here, just under 39. 38.80 was his call. And literally, after he took that call, look where it went. You could have been blindfolded with a bag over your head, and all you had to do was hit a click button on a buy, and you would have made 200 shares, 2 points. 400 shares, 2 points. 300 shares, 2 points. 150 shares, 2 points. 75 shares, 2 points. You see my point? He delivered over 3.5 points. And then he told you, and what made this trade so good? He walked it with you. People kept asking in the room, where's it going? Where's it going? Where's it going? He would go, take some here, take some here, take some here, take some here, out, done. As soon as he was out, stock pulled. That's a chat room. That's a moderator. You see, that's the quality moderator in this room. Not everyone can be a moderator in Awesome Calls Trading. You got to be a next level trader. You got to be helpful, humble, no ego, work with traders, help them become better, help them see what you see. And not only that, the man spends his time in Discord. Yeah, that's right. Discord. You want to talk to him direct? He's in Discord. Huh? 963 people in there. 213 online right now. We are 27 away, right? 37 away from 1,000. Once it hits 1,000, we'll do some fireworks and we'll keep going. But this is for you to talk to traders like him and Darkside and Janny. So you can learn like, hey, how did you see that? What did you see? And you know what we've decided? Awesome Calls Trading decided to put a nice program together for him so he could do a webinar. So on the weekend, he could put something together for traders. How did he see this call? What lines is he looking? How does he find his stuff? Why did he seek this one out? It's important. The more you can learn from great traders, the better trader you become. Because at the end of the day, it's about paying the bills. If you can pay if you need to make $500 today and pay your bills, this would have been the trade to do it. I can't stress it enough. I've already showed you Ratka. I already showed you ACHV, and those you could have made thousands. But you could just make just as much on something like this as well. I showed you Boeing. Now I want you to see a stock that very few people will ever even touch. And you know why? Because they're scared. They're scared. This is beyond them. It is. It's just no, they can't do it. It's just not going to happen. You know why? Because they truly don't get Ulta. Every earnings comes out, I never short into it. I never long into it. I leave it alone. I wait for the next day. If Ulta has blowout earnings, the next morning, all you have to do is hit the long button, and it's going to squeeze. That's it. Remember that. You stupid ass mods that opened up your rooms and own rooms right now that came from here, write that shit down. Your other rooms that Nevada, MU, and all that other bullshit with Apple, write some shit down. Take some notes. I mean, grow up. Okay? Because when Ulta comes out with earnings of that magnitude, and I'm talking upside guidance, the first thing that's going to happen is squeeze city. And I'm talking let it rip. Let it rip. Get out of its way. And I think I said in my pre-market notes, and I'll show you what I wrote right here. I said Ulta. Ulta. I would love to see a squeeze for 10 points out of the gate. It's already up 15. So the stock was already sitting at $335. I said another 10 more points to the upside. And then it should come down about 7 to 12. Look how I wrote that. I like the pop and fade, but be careful. Don't get in big with size on the name. It range and moves in points. You must wait for this to show you at the open. So the minute it popped, now I already knew it was going to squeeze, and we got multiple upgrades on the price targets. So imagine you're up at 337 a share, right? 327 a share. I'm telling you it's going to pop 10 more points out of the gate. And then it's going to come down 7 to 12. Now I want you to see how it trades. You want to trade with a pro? Here you go. Ding, 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 ding. You're long right here. 326, 327, right? What is 10 points? 8, 7. I said 5 to 10. Slams up 8 points to the upside. You see that? Actually, no. 18. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I misadded there. I mean, look at that. Almost a 20-point push. And then it came down. So when we're trading this, there's no reason to short the stock. None whatsoever. Now, initially, it popped the 10 points like I suggested right here. And then it had a beautiful pull. But once it curled around, it gave traders plenty of time to get the heck out because all we could see was more upside on it. It was a wonderful trade. You almost just had to sit back and just let it play itself out, like I said. But once it hit the topping, I said it would come down about 7 to 10 points, I believe, right? So 345 and 7 is 343, yeah, 337. So that's 7 points. Because Ulta is a fun favorite. I mean, investors love Ulta, and so they flock to it. Just an incredible trade. It really was. I'm going to show you another one here that I think you're going to like a lot. Okay. Here and TLYS. Now, the reason why I'm showing these and highlighting these two, because a lot of times what happens on earnings and analyst calls and so forth is you get a cheap stock, like a $10 stock or a $14 stock. I love these trades. These are like one of my fan favorites. Every day I look, and I'll tell you why. If you look at my pre-market list, how I do my research and homework, all right, I like to find $2 stocks to $10 stocks. Then I like to find the $10 to $20 stocks, then the $20 to $30 stocks, the $50 stocks, the $600 stock. I mean the $300 stocks, the $200 stock. I like to find range so everyone can have a party. All right, because not everyone can trade the same trade. Some people can't trade Boeing. It might be a great trade for someone else, but maybe for you it's not. So I try to find those $2 stocks, the $10 stocks, the $15 stocks. And what I love is I love looking at stocks like this. TLYS, earnings miss, and then here, lowers guidance. I want you to look at these two stocks and how I wrote them. All right, here, stock is gapping down too. In my opinion, I want to pop towards 1550 and then fade off to 1350. If the stock hits 1350 and under, long the stock for 1 to 2 points. You see how I wrote that? Again, let's repeat that. The stock is gapping down too. I want to pop to 15 to 1550. If it doesn't pop, wait for the pull at the open at 1350 and under, and I will deliver 1 to 2 points. Okay? So then I go to TLYS. Now this one is gapping down 1 on downside guidance. And how do I know that? Because I read the earnings report. I determined how bad the stock should be. Should it get hit? Should it get hurt? If so, I have to range it. So I can give you an exact entry and exit. So on this one, I said the stock's going to probably pop at the open. So look for an 11 or more. And then we'll fade it for an all-day fader. The most important thing is, if the stock does pull to 9.5 to 10, go long the stock because the stock will fill the gap. All right. I don't know if it'll fill the full gap, but once it gets going, if I can get 11, I want to fade the stock. All right. You see how I worded these? These are $20 stocks and under. Because I have a lot of traders that want to trade this kind of stuff, but they just need to know when do they get in, when do they short, and when do they get out. Okay? So I want you to see how this works. Sorry, I meant that. Thank you, Fire. But oh, thank you. It's okay. All right. So I want you to look at the stock. You ready? Okay. I'm going to show you both of them at the same time. Here and TLYS. Now, the key to learning this stuff is you have to understand how to trade this stuff. Okay. Look at this pull. The reason why it yanked so much is because they had downside guidance. But I got a lot of short sellers here, and it's a cheap stock. Plus, what have I taught you all in the room? What have I taught you? If there's no analyst downgrades of significance, chances are shorts will want to cover, right? So to me, I already saw yesterday after hours the stock hit 1320. So I had a safe bet that if the stock hit 1350 and under, to go long and pounce it. 500 shares, 1,000 shares, and you'll get a decent bounce. I was hoping it would come up to back to $14 or $15 again. I did not say the stock would gap fill to 16, 17. I never said that. I never said that. I said it would probably hit the 15, 15.50 if we can get going. TLYS, I said, look at this on the pull yesterday. So if the stock even pulls more at the open, go long. But if it starts to break out, look for a stock to gap fill, start easing in short, top it off, and then short the stock back down to lows. See how easy these two are? So if this gap filled, so this is how you play this. Up, it pops, long the stock. All right? So nobody shorted the stock here. They waited. Around 11.50, they gap filled. Should I start shorting, AJ? Yeah. Have room to 12. And we did put stops at $12 a share. Right? 12 was right here. And that's because yesterday it showed up right here at 12 on the radar. So I said, give it room to 12, and I think it'll fade. And look at clockwork. So traders like Webster, Ripster, and many others got in here. Brandy at 11.50, 11.70. Waited, put stops at 12, and just faded it. All right, here, I think Christian and a few others in here grabbed the long at 13.20, 13.50, and just rode it all the way up to 14.20 for quick money. These kind of trades give you the possibility of making fun money. I call this really fun money. And I really enjoy these kind of trades and setups. I wish I could be, in hindsight, I wish I could have been really more accurate on the call, because I think it would have helped a lot of traders getting with decent size. But I knew the stocks would probably pop and fill some of the gap because I thought the shorts would cover because I didn't have the downgrades. Okay, so these are the 7 trades I'm going to go over on charts. RKDA, here, ACHV, Boeing, Ulta, SLNO, and TLYS. And Boeing was just an absolute, it was a combination of the room, of Dark Side, Janny, myself, Fire. I mean, all of us mods saw the same thing. And that's what I love about our room. It's just that it seems like we're always on the same page. And that's what makes it so much fun. It's so much fun to day trade in here because everyone thinks the same, sees the same, wants the same. We all want you to succeed. That's the bottom line. And personally, when I see you lose or you get frustrated, I feel bad for you because whatever you're doing, it's not working. Do it our way. And I promise you, you will learn so much. And if you're not ready yet, take paper trading. Try it out. Paper trade the alerts. Paper trade. Get a comfort level. But don't go crazy on paper trading. And I mean that. Don't be putting in 500 shares when you only trade 100. Trade what you can afford as if you were trading with real money. And if you have a small account, don't come in here and try to focus on Boeing. I mean, I know you want to be a hero, but don't. Focus on a Radka short. Focus on an ACHV short. If you can't get the shorts, wait for a B Trades to come in and give you a great long on something. What did I deliver yesterday? Huh? Atos. Did I talk about it today? No. Did I deliver it yesterday? Hell yeah, I did. Huh? Off of 525. Told you it would kind of come, and I was done with it. Did you see me hold it? No. What else did I give you yesterday out of just because? Neo. I gave you Neo at 603 this morning. If you had 1,000 shares, you were up 120 bucks for the day. All right, and then buy on weakness. Neo to me is a swing, and I will add at 550, actually 553, and at 5, and I'll have a 550 average. And then in a month or so, as we get closer to earnings, in 2 months, stock will ramp right back up, and you'll start to see some of these traders going long. I mean, I'm talking possibly citrons and mocks, and those start taking positions. All right, and you get a nice pop. We'll be above 750. Earnings come. We'll be at 850, and maybe we might get lucky and have decent earnings. And voila, we'll be at 10 or 11. This is purely a swing trade idea, and we'll add on weakness. Okay. So overall, I cannot thank you enough for being a part of our great room this week. I haven't done the tally yet, but I think so far this week we've brought in around 20, 25 new subscribers. Our goal is to add another 100 more by the end of the month total. So we'll see how it keeps going. Got a lot of PEP members coming back from other rooms, and there's one particular room out there that it's not working over there. So I'm really grateful for him messing up, I guess, because we're building. So I'm like a shark. Just come on over here. The bottom line is you have to utilize news and events when you trade. You do. You could be the most amazing technical trader in the world, and there are so many, and a lot of them are in here. And there are so many technical traders that know lines and graphs and VWAPs and where it's going to bounce. And I admire that. I do. I can't stress it enough how a technical trader can just really be so good at what he does. But for me as a trader, the way I react to news, the way I react to the trade or how it's going to go, I look at the news. I read the earnings. I read the reports. I look at the analyst. I read the news behind the move. I want to know what I'm doing with it. And therefore, I can give a clearer and more stern idea to the trader. This will do this. Why, AJ? Because the news tells me this. Not the chart, the news. The news tells me first, then the chart will tell me second. And what I mean by that is, and I'll tell you, I'll kind of show it to you. It's a perfect example. All right. So if I'm taking a stock like RKDA or a stock like 8CHV, right? So if I'm taking stocks like this and the news is telling me that this is why the stock is up, then the news tells me that based on the way I read it, the stock should sell off all day. What does that help you do? You can take decent size, 1,000, 2,000 shares, hold it all day, and just take it down 1 point, make $2 grand for the day on a $3 stock. Radka, meow, cat food. FDA approves some oil in a cat food. Really? Come on. Just take the stock down. Fill the gap. You could take 3,000, 4,000 shares, all right, like Steve B did, and make $2,800 on one trade. You follow what I'm saying? The chart's going to tell you, yes, from a technical point, you can ask any technical trader in here, from the dark sites to the fires to the Raphaels to Jannies. They will tell you, yes, this stock will go here based on the technical side. But from a news standpoint, the news will tell me it's going to go there first. Then the technical will kick in. So the more you understand the fundamentals of trading and why a stock's going to move up or down, the more size you can take, the more money you will make, and the better trader you'll become. And you'll become so confident within yourself. And that's really what it's about. You get that confidence, you carry no more fear, you're going to be an amazing trader. You're going to make a living doing it. Okay? So I want to thank you for joining us today on Awesomecalls Trading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to be a member of us, just click right here or any of our links. 25 for a day, 100 for a week, and 197 for a month, or $6 a day. You can follow me on Twitter. I love to talk to you on Twitter. I'm here. You can DM me. I'm more to help you. And so I want to thank you so much for joining us. Be good, be well, be safe, and have a wonderful weekend. And thank you for being a part of our great room today and listening to us. All right, take care. Bye-bye.